Dr. Sudarshan Shetty, presently working as specialist pediatrician at Burjeel Medical Center, Abu Dhabi. He has experience of nearly 20 years, both in India and UAE, in the field of newborn, infant, child, and adolescent care. A MBBS and MD pediatrics, an alumni of JJM Medical College, Davangere, and a specialist in children with kidney disease, with one fellowship in pediatric nephrology in 2006 from St. John's Medical College Hospital, Bangalore, and the second International Society of Nephrology Fellowship in Pediatric Nephrology in 2010 at Montreal Children's Hospital, McGill University, Montreal, Canada. He was the editor of Karnataka Pediatric Journal, a statewide quarterly journal catering to the pediatricians of the state, and also Secretary, Indian Academy of Pediatrics, Dakshina Kannada chapter in 2007. Director of Sri Yantram Developers Limited, a startup with a focus on local job creation, along with his wife, Dr. Shobha Shetty, and Vibhuti Estates under Sri Yantram Developers in Padangadi, initiating a forestation program with philanthropic activities in memory of his late father, Sri Sankappa Shetty, an annual school scholarship program to support financially deserving students of the local government schools to pursue higher studies with a vision to start awareness program in local schools regarding nutrition, counseling of teenagers, and career counseling for the children. Let's welcome Dr. Sudarshan Shetty K to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Valerian. Kudlada maatariligla enna solnallu. Thank you so much.
Yes. Your first thoughts, Dr. Sudarshan.
Good evening, one and all, and I thank News Karnataka for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts, and especially Mr. Valerian and Rajesh for making this possible. And it's a fantastic initiative when the world is tired of negative news. You are sharing positive stories with our younger generation. It's a fantastic initiative. I hope you continue this program for many more episodes.
Yes. Share your memories from your early days as a student until you graduated as an MBBS and specialized as MD pediatrics.
Yes, I mean, I think behind every successful man, they say there is a woman. I think I was blessed to have very strong-willed women behind my story. And to come to the inspirations, my mother, who was a banker herself, was a very hardworking student as a child, and she always dreamt that she wanted to be a doctor herself. And she always pushed me and inspired me to take up this as a career. And of course, my dad also was a very self-made man. He studied his school with a piece of slate, and he couldn't afford the education, higher education. But in spite of that, I think I have to thank my parents for what I am here right now. It's all because of their dreams and their struggle. Yeah. And of course, my sister was my huge motivator. She would always wake me up from my daydreaming slumber. And in the college, of course, my best friend and presently my wife, she was my motivator. She was a very hardworking student. She would always encourage me to study harder and focus. And I always call her the wind behind under my wings. I have to say that my dad has a huge role in me starting my practice in Mangalore. I started in a very small area. Padil is a very small village, and he always insisted that we should try to help the local population rather than practice in middle of Mangalore, which was making more business sense. But now, 2 years ago, he passed away. But Now, when I look back, I think it makes more sense to me, and I'm more happier as a person serving the locality. And now the clinic, which I started as a small, in a very small place, has now grown into a super specialty daycare center with many specialists visiting there. We have lab facilities, ultrasound, X-ray, etc. And of course, every time you talk about others,
Yeah.
whereas your own patients, like your small children, when they go happy and
Yeah.
smiling, it inspires you to do more.
Being a doctor, what are the challenges, accolades, and criticisms?
Very nice question. I think, see, to become a doctor, it's like I'm talking about 15 years of studies. I mean, when you are 18 years, you enter after your 12th grade. It takes about 15 years to be a specialist, and by the time he comes out, he's almost having a family, or he has just started a family. So he's already under pressure to start right away, and many of them, I have seen many of my classmates, they take huge loans to complete their studies, whether to buy books or hostel or the payment of fees and things like that. So there is a lot of pressure on them financially when they complete the course. And one of my childhood friend, when I was practicing in Padil, he once jovially asked me, Sudarshan, it is so easy for you. All you need to do is just scribble and you get the money. And I have to work so much in the field. I said, you know what? I have spent 15 years studying to scribble what I am doing right now. So, you see a lot of friction in the present day with the community abusing physically the doctors for various reasons.
Right, right.
Most of the time, it is financial reasons, for this kind of a friction. And I feel very sad to see when, without understanding the real story behind, these kind of emotions are not taken care of because of lack of communication or some reason, and it will inadvertently affect the community, because when the doctor is not ready to take risks, again, it is the community that is getting affected. If he leaves out, do you know that in Karnataka alone, there are about 3,000 quacks who are practicing medicine who have no qualification in any stream of medicine?
Oh.
So when the real qualified doctor is moving away out from the community, and somebody else who's not qualified is treating your community, it's a big risk. It's not good for the community. And of course, nowadays we have to deal with these WhatsApp warriors who just listen to some forwards, and they come, and in fact, I have this, we call them Google doctors. They see Google and tell us, I have seen the Google, you just give me this prescription, doctor. They know what is the medicine to be given. So it's sad sometimes, we spend so much time educating these people. Medicine is not just about writing a tablet or a syrup. It's about the holistic approach, about trying to find the root cause of why this problem is there in the first place. And educating and communication, I think, is the most important. And that's the biggest challenge any doctor now feels at present.